You are watching YanaTV.
Hi, this is Yana and you're watching YanaTV. And today with us we have an incredible guest, Suria Mohd, who is a celebrity nutritionist and serial entrepreneur.
Thank you for having me
Thank
again.
you for coming here again, Suria. And I know from your lifestyle that you have built a lot of successful businesses. So, the question that I have for you today, if you look back at your career as a business owner, what was the biggest setback that you had and how did you overcome it?
Right, the biggest setback I had was to have my business, set up my center for 6 months and had no clients.
Physical center for 6 months with daily,
with
monthly,
rental,
yes.
with utilities to pay, with advertising fees to pay, and everything else coming out. But I had no one signing up for anything. I was doing a nutrition center. So it's like a weight loss program where they come and then I'll advise them how to eat, what to eat, So it's a really simple concept. And people will come and they'll say, "Where's your spa?" I said, "I don't have a spa." So it's not understanding what my clients want, number one, and then not being able to explain what I do in such a way that make them want to buy what I have. So I have people coming and not signing up for anything for 6 months. So there was zero in and then all out. So I was minus 80,000 after 6 months.
Yes.
So that was the biggest mistake.
How did you turn it around?
Well, I didn't know what was my problem. It's this thing about being in entrepreneurship. We have a lot of passion and we want to do all these things, but we don't know what we don't know sometimes when we are starting out. So that was what happened for me. I don't know what I didn't know. So I was wondering why are they not signing up? Why? Is it the price? Maybe it was too expensive. Maybe it's 300 plus for a 3 months program, too expensive. Drop the price to $65. No one was signing up. Why? So the last part of my business, I decided to hire a business coach. Yeah, I didn't know there was such a thing
as
called
business coach.
I didn't even know that. So you don't know what you don't know, right? So I found him on a newspaper ad and then I said, I need to hire this guy. So I called him up and I said that I need your help.
So you were minus 80,000 and you hired business coach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So he came and he told me that your biggest mistake is you didn't ask for the sale.
Oh.
He said that. Because I begged him, I said, I had no money to pay you, but please, I need one answer because I'm scratching my head. Why are people not paying me? So I think he really pitied me and I said, when I have the money, I'll pay you. He came to me, he watched what I was doing, and then he said, just one mistake, that's it, you're so good. He said, but there's one thing you didn't do. You didn't ask for the sale. I said, what? What do you mean? You didn't ask them to pay you money. I'm like, oh, really?
So simple and so profound.
Yes. So this is what I feel like the biggest mistake was, at the end of the day, the conclusion is not hiring a business coach. Not hiring a business coach. I could have saved so much money and have done so much better and accelerate the growth had I hired a business coach like you.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me, what's my blind spots and why I could have done better. Because sometimes I believe as women, sometimes we sort of underestimate our own potential and power. We tend to criticize ourselves a lot and not see that power within. And we need someone to see us and be really absolutely honest with us and tell us what's good about us and then pull that out and also help us to systemize like a business blueprint. Yeah. So that was the biggest mistake.
And it's a great learning. Have you been working with coaches after that? I know you became one yourself also.
Yeah, eventually. So. And then what I did was, because of my state and I was in, I didn't have that kind of money. So I soaked up a lot of business books. I read a lot of business books, marketing books, and then started applying those. And it was when I applied them, it worked. Like I got about 80,000 in 2 days for a program that I created.
80,000 in 2 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Using very simple marketing formula.
On internet?
That wasn't on internet yet. It was still offline.
Okay.
But it was really like doing very simple things, just like doing free workshops, and people would come and then deliver good value to them, and then asking for the sale.
So how did you learn to ask for money?
Learning how
Because clearly
to...
you had to learn, right? That
Oh
was
yes,
not in
yes.
your
Like
DNA.
we don't know how to do
Yes.
that. Like, you know, we are like, I feel like as women we tend to accommodate a lot. Like we tend to want to be nice and like, okay, now it's time to ask for the money. So how do I do that? Like, you want to pay me? So what do we do, right? So I learn in the process, like, you know, in offering value, that means when I give a lot of value, and I learn how to do seeding, like while I'm doing a seminar, I'll talk about my programs, but I'll talk about my programs in a way that doesn't seem salesy, you know, and then because the value is already delivered, and then naturally it progresses into like just like, okay, right now I've shared with you all of this, and this is what I have to offer, and then this is what you're gonna get, this is the results, this is a transformation, this is a result, this is a transformation, and this is what's gonna happen to you if you don't take action, and this is what will happen to you if you take action. So it's your choice right now, and if you do, this is how you're gonna benefit and transform. So it's really talking true transformational language. Like rather than talk about my features, I talk about what's it that's going to happen to their life if they take action right now. So by having this and learn this sales conversation, which at first to me felt very like salesy, I transitioned into like I would say like the feminine way of sales, like non-pushy but very, very inviting, like client attracting rather than like push it down their throat. So that really created that success along the way. I mean, the failure, you know, gave me some good lessons, and then it was from very good feedback. I decided to work on it, and with that, then built that platform for success.
Now, when you were learning how to sell, right? As when you said, if you started doing it in a very feminine way, so did you have to work on your mindset?
Oh, yeah.
Right, so what did you... Yes, I know you did. That's why I really would like you to share with us. So what was the fundamental shift that you had to do in your head, basically?
The first thing I think was to break the glass ceiling, because I was trained to study hard and get a good job, and by good job my father's definition was a teacher in Singapore.
Okay.
So that was like a $3,000 ceiling that I had in my mind, like that was how much I'm worth, and that's it, that's the amount of money I should earn. No one has told me that I could make anything more than that in a shorter period of time without working. So this never got in my head, nowhere. There was no seeds planted at all. So I didn't even have that awareness that I could do that. So it was very tough, like wanting to earn at the same time having this glass ceiling that's still like holding me at 3,000. And it was not until I read the book Born Rich by Bob Proctor, and he said this, and it was a simple activity, but I was shaking doing it. He said, just write down that you want to make $1 million, that you can earn $1 million, like you have $1 million. I have and to write the number 1 million, it was like
it's a lot of zeros.
I'm never like, you know, and that's one thing to just write. I was shocked with myself. I can't even write 1 million, and then that's one. But then to feel like to feel deserving of that 1 million, that takes a lot of onion peeling.
So what work did you do to feel that you deserve it?
There was a lot of onion peeling moments.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, to first coming from the inside and remove all the baggages of my past, of this unworthiness and everything else. Attending a lot of personal development training programs that allow me to open up. So when I do personal development program, I go in 100%. Like I don't just go in just to sit down and watch. I give my all. Like, you know, if I
Well,
were,
I can see you kind of person who gives you all this everything you do. So not just personal development programs.
I will just, if they say cry, I will just cry.
Yes.
If they say scream, I'm going to scream. I didn't know I have so much baggage, and it's so good to let it all go. And then when it's all out, then there's this space inside me, then now I can fill in with all these like, yes, I can. So the first ceiling I set for myself in that training, one personal development training that I attended, was to earn 20,000 a month.
Okay.
That was like huge. It's huge. And just to imagine that, and then to be able to achieve that, and that's a first breakthrough. But of course it took this process, right? This process. And through the process of that personal development and coaching that I had, so I was able to break through that. And eventually, like after the 20,000 and then the next, you know, and then the next, and then the first 5-figure, eventually 6 figures, and then reach my 7 figures.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Suria, thank you. What do you think? What makes or breaks a really good entrepreneur?
What makes or break? I would say that the fear of success, I think, can break the entrepreneur. The fear of success, because a lot of times, like, it's the first part of the process is letting go of all the baggage, right? And then now I'm ready to face the world and I'm all charged up. And then they move through that process. In the process of success, you got to show up. You have to be there, visible. People need to know you, you know, so you got to be out there on media and here and there, and like you got to really show up. And an interesting happened when we do that. And we will tend to attract tribes, like people who love us. And suddenly the next day you wake up and you have this group of haters. Like, you know, like,
How did that happen?
oh my God, like tearing you apart, like really tearing. I felt like that, and it's like, it was good that through that personal development process, I was sort of prepared and preempted for that process, and I realized a lot of women are not prepared for that process, and when they are like all out charging, and then they have this one person just throwing that
Tomato
at them,
stone.
Oh no, I'm gonna like lock myself up with a tub of Ben and Jerry's and lock, and then like not meet anyone for 1 week, you know, and hibernate for a week and a month and not wanting to come out because somebody said something about them, which is not true. So, and I feel like because we are very emotional creatures, we tend to feel a lot and we get affected, and that affects the whole momentum of everything. And I've seen many women who hibernate and doesn't want to come out anymore because of this. So I feel like this preparedness to really face, you know, not just the inner critic, that's the first part, but also to face the people who are criticizing us from the outside. And then be able to embrace who we really are. And then, you know, like Brene Brown said, that you just have an arena and you put the people who are not into you, and you just put them in the stadium. There's a space for them to boo you, you know, just allow them to be there, you know, just allow them to be there, because you, and then as you see them booing you, look around the whole stadium, people like actually cheering you and pom-pom cheering you. So it's fine. The tomatoes are throwing here, and then the balloons and all the candies are, you know, thrown here. The roses are all there, so it's okay. It's looking at it from that perspective.
That's such a beautiful way to look at it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. And the final question for today, for you personally, what is your definition of success?
My definition of success is really like, I wrote this, co-authored this book with Jack Canfield. It's called The Soul of Success. And in that I wrote about how to achieve success without losing your soul. So it's about success is very subjective. It means a lot to different people. But at the end of the day, it's that space where I come back home. And regardless how big my house is, how many cars I have, it's all not relevant. It is that me with myself and how I feel. And the smile that I have put in somebody else's face. And then that person who would write and say, thank you very much. You have impacted me because of the work that you do. And then, you know, like I've decided not to commit suicide because of you. And I think that is so powerful. So that ultimately is my meaning of success, is being able to, get somebody the hope that they desire, and then to allow them to feel that their mess is after all one day gonna be their message. It's very internal and it's very like deep, soulful, seated.
I love it. Thank you so much. And that was Suria Mohd on YanaTV. Do you love this video? Share it with your friends. We always highly appreciate it. Join our mailing list, and we talk to you next week with the next incredible guest.
So your little voice is just a composite of all your old experiences, your old habits, all that stuff. And your brain just continues to work. You just don't shut it down. When you go to sleep, it doesn't even shut down. So it's constantly working. And so the challenge is to be able, as every personal development guru, every spiritual leader throughout the last 5,000 years has said, is that you have to control your thoughts in order to control your life.